Well, obviously we have another wrestling pay-per-view. In this case, it is Payback, the 2015 edition. I start getting these confused. I mean, Payback makes you think of Backlash, which makes me think they should really be after WrestleMania. Yeah, I digress. And obviously I'm getting into it a little later than usual. In fact, this is so much later than usual that I am actually shooting this while I am eating lunch. Excuse me. Now, they started off, obviously, with the Kickoff Show. And you were only supposed to get one match, but I guess they decided to throw in another one, given how the other match that we were supposed to get went. The bonus match was R-Truth taking on Stardust. And, you know, this was a pretty humdrum match. It wasn't too much to talk about. Stardust hit R-Truth with a slingshot suplex that went out of the ring. Truth came back with a series of... oh, no, he hit a facebuster. Sorry. Stardust hit kind of this cool spin kick off of the second rope. Stardust then took off his glove and for some reason started slapping Truth with it. Because pleather gloves are deadly weapons nowadays, I guess. Eventually, though, Truth managed to rally and hit the little Jimmy for the win. Like I said, ultimately forgettable match. Now to the match they actually marketed for being on the Kickoff Show. And in this case, it is the Meta Powers, or, well, they called them the Mega Powers, but everyone on the internet is calling them the Meta Powers because, well, that makes more sense, and I'm guessing Vince doesn't know what the term meta means. Otherwise known as Axelmania and Macho Mizdow, taking on the Ascension. Not much to say on this match, unfortunately. Both Axelmania, Curtis Axel, and Damien Sandow came out as, well, Hulk Hogan and Macho Man, respectively. Axel hit the big boot leg drop pin combination. Got broken up by Connor. You know, Sandow came in, did a bunch of moves, went up to the top rope, but Victor pushed him off the top rope, and then the Ascension hit the Fallen Man for the win. Yeah, you know, this match got a little bit of hype going into it. It seemed like, you know, they were forming this new tag team that might actually click. It didn't really go that well. Ultimately forgettable. And now we go on to the pay-per-view proper. Flip the notes over here. And take another bite. Sorry. Okay, our first match is Sheamus versus Dolph Ziggler. Before the bell, Sheamus slapped Ziggler and that managed to provoke a quick attack. Ziggler countered a white noise early on in the match for a quick 2 count. And then Sheamus locked in a sleeper hold, which is obviously the death knell for any match, because you lock in a sleeper hold, that means you got to stretch the match out. The match needs to be longer. The match needs to be longer. So we'll just throw in a boring sleeper hold in the middle of it. Except in this case, we were only about a third of the way into the match, and if you're doing it that early, that's not really a good sign. Let's see. Ziggler eventually did manage to break out of the sleeper. He managed to toss Sheamus into the ring post. Ziggler then hit an implant DDT for the 2. Eventually, Ziggler managed to get Sheamus down in the corner. He then lifted up the leg of his tights and made Sheamus kiss his arse for the incident last pay-per-view. And Sheamus then kind of rolled out of the ring. He goes, "Aah!" And he grabbed the bottle of water from the ring announcer and he drank it. And then he went back into the ring and Ziggler hit the Famouser, but only got a 2 count for it. Sheamus then hit a Liger Bomb for a 2 count. Sheamus then hit the white noise and then locked Ziggler into the cloverleaf. Ziggler got into the ropes. But then Sheamus hit the Brogue Kick. First, Ziggler got up and started to rally a bit and then headbutted Sheamus, but he knocked himself a little silly. He bladed, yeah, he bladed it. You could, if you watch the replay, he clearly does this right before you see him bleeding. So anyway, Ziggler was confused. Sheamus hit the brogue kick and got the win out of it. Another bite. Okay, our second match is the New Day versus Kid and Cesaro. 2 out of 3 falls for the Tag Team Championship. Early on, Cesaro hit a big power slam on Big E, got a 2 count out of it. Big E managed to counter back with a Gorilla Press slam, got a 2 count out of it. Cesaro and Kid hit a crossbody suplex for a 2. Kid and Cesaro then hit that swinging spin drop kick. They use, I guess it's their finisher now. I don't know what it's called. I don't think it has a name. But that got the first fall. That was a 3 count. Xavier Woods started distracting the ref to try to block to prevent the second pinfall and thus ending the match. But Natalya pulled him down from the ring apron. Big E hit a belly-to-belly on Tyson Kidd on the outside of the ring. At another point, too, Big E speared Cesaro through the ring ropes and off the ring barricade. Man, sorry. Another point, Kofi went up to the top rope, went for a move. Tyson Kidd countered with a drop kick. But it wasn't enough, and eventually Kofi got another pinfall, and that was the second fall. Next fall wins the championship. But Cesaro managed to get the hot tag and started landing a series of European uppercuts. Cesaro hit the very European on Kofi for a 2 count. Kid and Cesaro then hit a backbreaker elbow drop for a 2 count, and then in this schmoz that started to happen outside the ring, Cesaro was fighting Kofi. Kofi managed to catch Cesaro on the top rope, roll out of the ring. This enabled Xavier Woods to roll into the ring and locked Cesaro in a small package for the 3 count. All in all, this is a pretty entertaining match. Admittedly, a little disappointed. The New Day thing is starting to click a bit better as a heel tag team, but they're just still kind of lacking something. Xavier Woods is more annoying than he is actually being a good heel. Anyway, we'll go on to the next match after another bite here. Okay, our third match is Ryback taking on Bray Wyatt. Wyatt came out, he actually got a pretty positive reaction from the crowd. This was in Baltimore. It was a big NWA town. Obviously, Bray Wyatt being the son of Mike Rotunda, nephew of Barry Windham, grandson of Blackjack Mulligan. Guessing maybe they were cheering the favoritism for the family. I mean, Barry Windham main evented a couple big WCW events in Baltimore, I'm pretty sure. The one that's popping in my mind now is the NWA World Heavyweight Championship match with Lex Luger, where Harley Race became Luger's manager. That's the one that's in my mind right now. This was it was a good match considering that, we're Ryback and, Wyatt's a pretty good worker and Ryback's an okay worker. I mean, this was probably the best match you could get out of it. But it was also very pedestrian. I mean, Ryback threw Wyatt into the barricade outside the ring. Wyatt hit a flying headbutt. Wyatt hit a DDT on the apron, and then followed probably the big spot in the match. He hit him a senton bomb off of the not senton bomb, just a senton off of the ring apron. Ryback just beat the 10 count back into the ring. Ryback then hit a big power bomb on Wyatt. Was not able to pin him because he was selling an injury to his ribs. Ryback then hit a power slam for a 2 count. He did not get a good cover, as I recall. Ryback went for the meat hook clothesline. Wyatt was able to counter with a lariat. Ryback then managed to hit a top rope splash. Only got a 2 count. Didn't get a good pin on it. Again, selling the rib injury. Ryback started to go to the shell shock, but Wyatt grabbed the ropes, managed to work his way to the corner and take the turnbuckle pad off as the ref began to look at the tried to get the turnbuckle pad out of the ring. Wyatt threw Ryback into the the empty turnbuckle pad, and then hit the Sister Abigail for the win. Like I said, pretty good match, but it was pretty by the numbers. I mean, they were able to not really muck anything up, so that's not too bad. And time for another bite. Okay, next match is the I Quit match for the United States Championship between John Cena and Rusev. Early on in the match, Rusev and Lana started to get a lot of cheers from the crowd, so Rusev basically grabbed a folding chair, sat it down, and made her sit in the folding chair, because that somehow denies the fans, I don't know. Early on, Rusev just began headbutting Cena mercilessly. Rusev then hit a series of drop kicks, all in the what? Yeah, basically every time I describe a move, just immediately follow with, asked to quit, says no. So, in other words, with the next set here, Rusev begins waving the Russian flag. This allows Cena to rally. He hits goes for the AA, but Rusev hits counters into a follow-away slam, which he throws Cena out of the ring. Cena's asked if he quits. Cena says no. Rusev then sets up the ring steps in the corner of the ring and twice throws Cena into them. Cena refuses to quit. Excuse me. Rusev then hits a big sidewalk slam onto the ring steps. Cena does not quit. Cena hits an AA on the ring steps. Rusev does not quit. Okay, I'll stop doing that now. Cena then got Rusev outside of the ring, got him into the sort of bell keeper, timekeeper, ring announcer area where they have that little barricade set up for them. Drapes Rusev over it and he says, "I'm going to spear you through this if you don't quit." Rusev says no. Cena spears. Cena proceeds to spear Rusev through the barricade, and so forth. Rusev then hit a big sidewalk slam through a table. Rusev then began eyeing the pyro stand because they had fought their way into the crowd. They were fighting through the crowd. They got to the sort of the backdrop for the stage where the pyro goes off. And Rusev gives him an idea. He sets up Cena for the super kick. Cena counters, hits the AA into the pyro. The whole thing goes off. Lana starts freaking out. She runs up there to check on him. Rusev emerges. He still refuses to quit. And Cena then grabs one of the old-time security gates that looks like a bike rack. He hits Rusev with it. He starts bringing Rusev back to the ring. He starts setting up to put the AA on said bike rack. Rusev counters, puts a vertical suplex onto the bike rack. Then Rusev hits the super kick and locks in the accolade. As Cena starts to counter a bit, drives Rusev into the corners a couple of times. It's not enough. Cena falls down. Cena passes out. Rusev starts celebrating, but because Cena did not say "I quit," the ref is refusing to say, the match is still going. He didn't say "I quit." And Rusev says, "He passed out. It's enough. That should be enough. 9 times out of 10, that's usually enough." Which he's kind of right, but you knew Rusev wasn't going to win this match. And Rusev starts getting angry. He takes off the turnbuckle pad. He detaches the top rope from the turnbuckle. He then starts trying to set up the accolade with the rope around Cena's neck. This enables Cena to get a counter. He locks in the STF, ties the rope around Rusev, and he's hit. And Rusev starts screaming and screaming. He screams something in either Bulgarian or Russian. The announcers say both. And Lana comes in and goes, "He says he quits! He says he quits!" Cena wins. Like I said, no big shock. Entertaining match, but it is still kind of a typical I Quit match. And afterwards, this was way after the match, in the back room, there was a vignette where Rusev chewed out Lana. And again, it's like, well, did he say I quit in Bulgarian? I don't know. I don't speak Bulgarian. You get the idea. I could do the next match quickly here. It's the tag team matchup of Naomi and Tamina Snuka versus the Bellas. Early on, Tamina hits a big super kick on Bray outside the ring. Bray gets isolated. Naomi and Tamina just pound on her. But Nikki eventually gets the hot tag from Bray. Nikki hits a sidewalk slam for 2. Tamina interferes, and this allows Naomi to hit the rear view, but it's only for a 2 count. Nikki goes for a top rope move, but then on the outside, Bray was fighting Tamina. Tamina threw Bray into the barricade. This distracted Nikki enough for Naomi to throw Nikki down from the top rope, cover her for the 3. And time for another bite. Okay, and now we're up to the second to last match before the main event. Well, the last match before the main event. And it's King Barrett versus Adrian Neville. Early on, Neville hit a tilt-a-whirl head scissors, threw Barrett out of the ring. Neville tried a top rope move, but Barrett hit him with a big boot. Neville would rally with a series of kicks. He hit a standing shooting star press. Barrett would hit a winds of change for a 2. The fighting then got outside the ring. Neville managed to do a suicide dive. Knocked Barrett down. Neville gets up, runs back into the ring. Barrett's lying there. The ref's counting. 8, 5, 6, 7. Barrett starts to get up. 8. Barrett starts climbing the ring. 9. Barrett looks and goes, I'm done. And walks out of the ring. 10 count. Neville wins. And then while Neville kind of sits there sort of celebrating, Barrett comes in and attacks him. And, yeah, this is the weird part. The match, this goes on for like another 2 or 3 minutes. You could have had more wrestling in this. You could have had Barrett win. You could have had Neville win. I don't care. But at least it would have been a better finish than Barrett chickens out and then beats up Neville afterwards. And anyway, in this skirmish, Neville does hit a red arrow on Barrett while he's in his royal robe. Again, completely forgettable. Fortunately, this didn't really need to be on the pay-per-view. I love Adrian Neville. I love Wade Barrett. Completely unnecessary. I mean, even as a blow the steam off before the main event match, it doesn't work because we just had a blow the steam off before the main event match. Okay. I'm going to eat a bit more here. Okay, before we get to the main event, first things first, I have finished my lunch, so I won't be taking any more breaks to eat. Anyway, this is the main event, the Fatal 4-Way match for the World Heavyweight Championship. Seth Rollins against Roman Reigns against Randy Orton against Dean Ambrose. To start things out, Reigns, Orton, and Ambrose try to corner Rollins, but then J&J Security interferes. Eventually the fight gets to the outside. Reigns does a big suicide dive onto everyone except for Kane, who was also at ringside. Ambrose and Orton begin brawling in the ring. And then eventually Ambrose takes Orton out of the ring, and then Rollins and Reigns get into the ring, and they start fighting. Reigns goes for a Superman punch, but this is when Kane pulls him out of the ring, throws him into the ring barricade. J&J Security attack Orton. Rollins begins beating down on Ambrose. Ambrose goes for eventually Ambrose would rally, he would go for the dirty deeds, but Kane would jump in and chokeslam him. Again, not really a shock that Kane was still a heel. I don't think anyone was expecting any sort of big turn on that. I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Orton and Reigns take out Kane. Orton then took out Reigns. Orton and Rollins then began brawling for a while. Ashley gets outside the ring again. Rollins, Ambrose, and Reigns then triple team Orton and powerbomb him through the announce table. And, for the briefest of moments, the Shield has reunited for about a good minute and a half. They're like, yeah, old times. They're all kind of high-fiving a little bit about what they did. Rollins puts the fist in the middle for the Shield gesture. I don't know what they really called it, but yeah. They all puts the fist in. Ambrose and Reigns look at him and just go, nope. Mm-mm. And they immediately begin beating up on Rollins. Kane then kind of interferes, but they manage to double team just enough. They put Rollins up on the Spanish announce table. They put Kane up on the Spanish, and then they pick up Kane. They Reigns and Ambrose powerbomb Kane onto Rollins twice, eventually putting both of them through the Spanish announce table. And then, flipping the thing over here, sorry. As they're sitting in, and then they sit outside the ring, and they're like, Reigns looks at Ambrose and is like, we got to get back in the ring and fight each other if we're going to end this thing. And Ambrose is like, yeah. Oh, well. They go inside the ring. They start fighting. Reigns hits a sit-down powerbomb for a 2. Reigns then hit a Superman punch for a 2. Reigns then managed to spear Ambrose, but Rollins got in and broke the pin. You would think Orton was out a bit longer than this. He would have been more recovered than Rollins, but apples to oranges, I guess. Kane then takes out Reigns, and Ambrose Kane entered the ring with the ring steps. He took out Reigns and Ambrose with the ring steps. Orton managed to make his way back in the ring. He hits the Hangman DDT on Rollins. There's more of a schmoz outside. JJ security interfere again. This is enough to delay Rollins, give Rollins just enough time to hit Orton with the pedigree for the win. Rollins is still champion. Again, not really a big shock. I believe the plan is still to give him the title until SummerSlam, when he puts it on the line in a triple threat match. Yeah, with the returning Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. Yeah, though again, this is going to begin to lose its impact pretty soon. I guess, there was kind of a hot rumor going into it that Ambrose might win, turn heel in the process. I wouldn't be surprised if they do turn Ambrose heel, but maybe, just maybe, this isn't a prediction, this is just a thought, that maybe they'll turn him heel after Money in the Bank. He could actually win Money in the Bank, and then maybe we could get like a mini WrestleMania recreation where at SummerSlam, a big fight happens, a triple threat fight. Maybe Reigns is on the verge of winning again. Ambrose cashes in Money in the Bank, beats Reigns again, wins the title, turns heel in the process. That's entirely believable. I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. Other than that, this was an overall pretty good show. The downers being, unfortunately, like I said, the Neville Barrett match and the Divas tag match. And again, Naomi's a decent heel, but exactly. Again, this is, it wasn't for the Divas title. There really isn't any threat to her winning the belt right now because no one's beating the Bellas in the singles match. I guess they might be teasing another possible breakup because now with Daniel Bryan hurt and they're having it begin to affect Brie emotionally. Excuse me. Like I said, they're having it affect Brie emotionally. Maybe this drives another wedge between the sisters and we get another Bellas feud. Yay. Like I said, out of that, the other matches were all really good. The I Quit match was good. The tag match was good. The Fatal 4-Way was good. So, Sheamus Ziggler wasn't that good either, but But like I said, Ryback and Bray Wyatt was pretty good. So, again, middle of the road, but that's not necessarily bad because, again, going into this, there was very little hype, much like Extreme Rules. It seems like they can hype up their big pay-per-views. They can't seem to hype up the ordinary ones, I guess. Anyway, let's see. The next video will probably be on Tomorrowland. That comes out on Friday. I don't know if I'll put the video up on Friday or Saturday. And then next Monday is the Avengers Under Siege review. See you next time.